Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into some fascinating ideas today from the Clarity of Love essays by Harold W. Becker.
Oh, yeah. Becker's work is so insightful.
It really is. We're focusing on his perspectives on love and joy, specifically how they connect to create a more fulfilling life.
It's not your typical self-help stuff.
Right. Becker goes way deeper. Have you ever considered that love might be more than just a feeling?
Well, more like the essence of who we are.
Exactly. That's what we're exploring today.
Becker kicks things off with a powerful statement.
Oh, which one?
He says, love is innate and universal in every facet of our existence.
Whoa, so he's saying it's not just something we experience, but something we are.
Yeah, like it's woven into the very fabric of our being.
That makes the idea of being lovable just the way we are even more profound.
Absolutely. If we are love at our core, then we don't need to earn love. We just need to recognize it's already there. In fact, we've been searching for something we already possess.
And he even connects this inherent love to those feelings of wonder and awe we experience. You mean like when we're struck by the beauty of nature or moved by a piece of art?
Exactly. Becker would say those moments are us tapping into that universal love that flows through everything.
And we're part of that flow simply by being alive.
Precisely.
It's a beautiful way to look at those experiences. Makes them feel even more significant, knowing they're connecting us to something much bigger than ourselves.
I agree. So where does joy fit into all of this, if love is the foundation?
Well, according to Becker, joy is the natural expression of that love.
It's like the bloom that emerges from a healthy plant.
He writes, joy is our innate and natural way of being.
Meaning it's not something we have to achieve or chase, but rather uncover within ourselves.
Well, it's like we've been looking for joy in all the wrong places.
When it's been inside us all along.
It reminds me of the heartbeat, a natural rhythm that sustains us.
Oh, that's a great analogy. Becker actually uses the heartbeat metaphor to describe joy.
He does.
He suggests that joy is like a rhythm within us, pulsing and waiting for us to tune in.
The rhythm of a life lived in sync with our true nature.
Exactly. But this raises the question, if joy is our natural state, why does it so often feel out of reach?
Right. Why aren't we all walking around in a constant state of bliss?
Well, that's where the power of choice comes in, and this is something Becker really emphasizes.
So we have more agency over our experience of joy than we realize.
He states, choice is the cornerstone of our experiences.
So it's not about passively waiting for good things to happen, but actively choosing how we perceive and respond to what life throws at us.
It's about shifting from reacting to appreciating.
Choosing to see challenges as opportunities rather than setbacks.
Becker takes this a step further. He writes, we cease reacting to experiences and begin appreciating everything as a reflection of how we once thought and felt.
That's a powerful statement. So our experiences, particularly the difficult ones, are like mirrors reflecting back our own inner world.
That's how Becker sees it. And understanding this can be a real game changer.
Because it means we have the power to change those reflections by changing our thoughts and feelings.
Exactly. By becoming aware of those internal patterns, we can start to make different choices. Choices that align with the joy we seek.
This is definitely giving me a new perspective on joy. It's not just an emotion that happens to us, but something we can cultivate and choose.
Which is incredibly empowering when you think about it.
It is.
Yeah.
So if we have this power of choice, how do we actually start living a more joyful life? What are the practical steps?
That's what we'll explore next. Becker offers some really concrete practices to help us tap into that inherent joy.
Okay, so stay tuned. We'll dive into those practices after the break. Welcome back to our deep dive into Harold W. Becker's The Clarity of Love essays. We've been talking about this really cool idea that we are love at our core and that joy is like the natural expression of that love.
Right, like two sides of the same coin.
But it's one thing to understand that intellectually and another to actually experience it in our daily lives.
Totally. So how do we bridge that gap?
Well, Becker suggests we start by aligning our thoughts and actions with joy.
Okay, so it's not just about waiting for joy to magically appear, but actually making choices that support it.
Exactly. It's about creating the conditions for joy to flourish.
Like a gardener tending to their plants, providing the right soil, sunlight, and water.
I like that analogy. And one of the key practices Becker emphasizes is cultivating gratitude.
Gratitude. It's so powerful.
He suggests that when we focus on what we appreciate rather than what we lack, it can shift our entire perspective.
It's like choosing to see the glass half full instead of half empty.
He even writes, our joy touches the hearts of those around us. What do you think he means by that?
It makes me think about how our emotions can be contagious.
Oh, you mean like how when we're around someone who's genuinely joyful, we can't help but feel a little bit lighter ourselves?
Exactly. And on the flip side, when we're surrounded by negativity, it can bring us down.
Becker seems to be saying that joy has a ripple effect.
Right. When we're filled with joy, we radiate a different energy.
We're more likely to be kind, compassionate, and supportive.
And that creates a more positive environment for everyone around us.
It's like we become little beacons of joy, brightening not only our own path, but also illuminating the way for others.
I love that image. But how do we cultivate gratitude, especially when we're faced with challenges, when life feels tough?
That's a great question. It's easy to feel grateful when things are going well, but what about when we're struggling?
Becker acknowledges that life isn't always sunshine and roses. He doesn't suggest we pretend everything is perfect.
But he does invite us to approach difficulties with a different lens.
One that seeks out the good, even amidst the challenges.
He talks about finding unconditional joy. How is that even possible? How can we experience joy when things are tough?
It sounds paradoxical, right? But Becker seems to be pointing to a deeper well of joy that exists within us.
A joy that's not dependent on external circumstances,
It's not about denying or suppressing our emotions or pretending to be happy when we're hurting.
but rather tapping into a source of joy that's always available to us, regardless of what's happening around us.
It's like shifting from seeking happiness in external things to cultivating it from within.
And he ties this concept of unconditional joy to the practice of self-compassion.
Self-compassion. It's so important, yet so often overlooked.
It's about treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we'd offer a friend who's going through a tough time.
We're often our own harshest critics.
Becker reminds us that we're all human and we all make mistakes.
Self-compassion isn't about letting ourselves off the hook, but about recognizing that we're worthy of love and kindness even when we mess up.
When we can accept ourselves fully, imperfections and all.
We create more space for joy to exist, even in the midst of difficult experiences.
It's like we're releasing the burden of self-judgment and opening ourselves to the possibility of joy in every moment.
So we've talked about mindfulness, gratitude, and self-compassion.
Yeah.
Are there other practices Becker suggests for cultivating joy?
He also emphasizes the importance of reframing challenges, instead of viewing them as roadblocks.
He encourages us to see them as opportunities for growth and learning.
It's like that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
But Becker takes it a step further. He suggests that challenges aren't just about becoming stronger.
But about discovering our true potential.
When we're faced with a challenge, we're forced to tap into our inner resources.
We might discover strengths and capabilities we didn't even know we had.
It's like we surprise ourselves by how much we can handle.
But sometimes we need a little help along the way.
Absolutely. And Becker emphasizes the importance of connection and community.
Especially during challenging times.
He reminds us that we're not meant to go through life alone.
It's not about being superhuman and handling everything on our own,
It's about reaching out for support when we need it.
and allowing others to be there for us.
We're social creatures, and we thrive on connection.
When we face difficulties, it's essential to reach out to loved ones, friends, or even a therapist.
It takes a village, as they say.
Exactly. We need that support system to help us through the ups and downs of life.
And Becker also encourages us to offer support to others. It's a two-way street.
Being there for others and allowing them to be there for us.
It's about creating a web of support that strengthens us all.
We become part of something larger than ourselves, and that sense of belonging can be incredibly powerful.
So we've explored mindfulness, gratitude, self-compassion, reframing challenges, and the importance of connection.
Becker seems to have a truly holistic approach to cultivating joy.
He does. And there's one more key element he highlights:
Oh, what's that?
the importance of aligning our actions with our values.
He suggests that when our actions are in harmony with our core beliefs,
We experience a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment, which naturally leads to greater joy.
it's about living a life that feels authentic and meaningful.
Exactly. It's about identifying what truly matters to us.
And then taking steps to align our lives with those values,
It's not about waiting for our purpose to magically appear.
but actively shaping our lives to reflect what we care about most.
This is starting to sound like a recipe for a truly fulfilling life.
But how do we actually translate these ideas into action? How do we make these principles a tangible part of our daily lives? So we've been deep diving into Harold W. Becker's The Clarity of Love essays and unpacking all these incredible insights on cultivating joy, mindfulness, gratitude, self-compassion. It's been quite a journey.
It really has. Becker's work is so rich with wisdom.
He offers such a holistic approach. But before we wrap up, I'm curious to hear more about how we can actually make these practices a tangible part of our daily lives.
Well, one thing that stood out to me was Becker's emphasis on simplicity.
Simplicity.
He reminds us that joy doesn't have to be this big, complicated thing.
It's not about chasing these huge milestones or achievements.
Right. It's about finding joy in the everyday, the ordinary moments.
Like noticing the beauty of a sunset or savoring a delicious meal.
Exactly. Or the sound of laughter, or the warmth of a hug.
It's about slowing down and appreciating those simple pleasures.
And shifting our focus from what we lack to what we already have.
Instead of constantly striving for some future happiness,
We can find contentment right here, right now.
I love that Becker also talks about the importance of playfulness and laughter.
Oh, yeah. He encourages us to not take ourselves too seriously.
It's so easy to get caught up in the seriousness of life. We forget to have fun.
We forget to laugh, be silly. Becker reminds us that playfulness is an essential ingredient for a joyful life.
It's like giving ourselves permission to be lighthearted.
And laughter has so many benefits.
Yeah.
It reduces stress, boosts our mood, and connects us with others.
It's like a mini vacation for the mind and spirit.
And it's contagious. When we laugh, we often inspire those around us to laugh too.
It's like a ripple effect of joy spreading outward.
Becker encourages us to find ways to incorporate more laughter and playfulness into our lives.
Whether it's watching a funny movie, spending time with loved ones who make us laugh,
Or just engaging in activities that bring us joy.
it's a reminder that joy doesn't have to be this grand event or a major accomplishment.
It can be woven into the fabric of our everyday lives.
Through simple acts of playfulness and laughter,
And it's a choice we can make each day, even each moment.
we can choose to approach life with a sense of humor, to find the absurdity in the mundane, to allow ourselves to laugh freely.
And in doing so, we create more space for joy to flourish.
It's inspiring to think that we have that much power over our own experience of joy.
It really is.
Yeah.
It all comes back to choice.
Choosing to focus on the good, choosing to be present, choosing to laugh, choosing to be kind to ourselves and others.
Those choices create a ripple effect, impacting not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us.
This has been such a rich and insightful exploration of Becker's work.
It's given us so much to think about and to put into practice.
Before we wrap up, I want to share one of my favorite quotes from Becker.
Okay, which one?
He writes, "The beauty of our earth brings joy to our hearts, just as our joy touches the hearts of those around us."
It's a beautiful reminder of the interconnectedness of joy.
And the power it has to spread.
So true.
Mm-hmm.
So as we conclude our deep dive into the Clarity of Love essays, I hope you're leaving feeling inspired.
Inspired to cultivate more joy in your own life and to spread that joy to others.
Remember, joy is not a destination, but a journey.
And it's a journey we can choose to embark on each and every day.
You are a being of love, capable of experiencing boundless joy.
Thank you for joining us. If you'd like to delve deeper into Becker's work, we've included links in the show notes. And we'd love to hear your reflections. Share your thoughts on our social media channels.
Until next time, be well and keep choosing joy.
Take care, everyone.